Hey friends, it's Hope, and today I am here to do my November wrap-up. Now this month I read 13 books, which, oh my gosh, mind blown. I was not expecting to read that many books at all, and I can first tell you that my TBR was just completely blown to smithereens because I just didn't follow it at all. So I can't even remember what I really wanted to read this month, but it just didn't happen. I was totally in a mood for other books, and I had started a whole bunch of series, which you will find out once I get done with this wrap up. But to first start off, the beginning of the month, I read a couple of books that I really didn't enjoy, so that was kind of a bummer. So thankfully through the rest of the month I picked up books that I actually really did enjoy, and I'm going to briefly talk about them real fast because I don't want this video to be like 25 minutes long. So let's get started. The first book that I read in the month of November was The Disreputable History of Frankie Banks by E. Lockhart. I did do a book review of this book and I will link that down below in the description box, but I think I gave this book like a 3 out of 5 stars. It definitely was not my favorite. We Were Liars was a million times better. It was just okay. Then right after that, I knew that I didn't enjoy that book, so I wanted to pick up something that I knew I would like. And so naturally, I picked up a Stephanie Perkins book, Lola and the Boy Next Door, the second book to her companion trilogy. And I really did like this, and I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars. The next 2 books I read on my Kindle, and that was Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout and Holy Love for Aliens. I am still swooning about this book and all of their characters, and I absolutely love this book. 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read, unfortunately, I did not like it as much as Obsidian. This was probably my least favorite book of the whole month, and it was Anatomy of a Misfit, and I think I rated this book a 2 out of 5 stars. No, I definitely take that back. I rated it a 1 out of 5 stars. There was so many things wrong with it. Thankfully, after reading Anatomy of a Misfit, the next few books that I read I really adored, and I continued on with the Vampire Academy series. So I started and finished Frostbite, which is the second book, and then Shadow Kiss as well, and these books are all written by Rochelle Mead, and I gave both of these books a 4 out of 5 stars. The next 2 books I read were on my Kindle again, and that was the next book to the Vampire Academy series, and it was Blood Promise, and the action was just so good, and I really enjoyed this book. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars, and then right after that I decided to start the Sweet Trilogy by Wendy Higgins, and it was a good solid beginner book. I felt that the characters were going to get a lot stronger, so I decided to continue on reading, even though I gave this book I think a 3 or 3.5 stars out of 5. But yeah, I'm definitely loving these books, and like I said, I kind of felt like they were going to get stronger, and they definitely have, but this one was a good solid 3.5 stars. So earlier on you heard me say that I started the Lux series and I read Obsidian, so naturally I had to get the second book, and so I picked up Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and this was equally as amazing as the first book, and I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. And then I decided that I needed to try to finish the Vampire Academy series, so I picked up the second to the last book, which is Spirit Bound. I read this hunk of a beast, and wow, it was good. So many twists and action and love and heartbreak and death and yeah, just everything I could ever want in a book. 5 out of 5 stars. Love this series. The next 2 books I read on my Kindle. You guys can tell I like to read books like in my hand and on my Kindle, but the next 2 books I read on my Kindle, and that was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, and my friend Jordan actually recommended me this book, and I knew that I had to pick it up because his book recommendations are usually fantastic, and I really did enjoy this book. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars, and this next book that I read on my Kindle after that was the second book to the Sweet Trilogy, and it was Sweet Peril. Yeah, Sweet Peril by Wendy Higgins, and I rated this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was definitely a lot better than the first book, and fingers crossed the last book, Sweet Reckoning, is going to be epic, and hopefully I can rate that one a 5 out of 5 stars. And to finish up my wrap up, I just finished a book actually about 10 minutes ago, and unfortunately it wasn't my all-time favorite. It wasn't the worst thing I read this month either, so I guess that's kind of good, but it was The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings, and I had really high hopes for this book. I heard so much hype on about this book on YouTube, and the plot sounded really cool. I mean, you know, the death rate is higher than the birth rate, and people are fighting to, you know, stay alive and to survive, and I was just really disappointed. And I think the main thing was, for me, the characters I could not connect with. I felt like they had no depth. And I don't know if that's because the chapters were super short, so once you kind of started getting a feel of what a character was thinking or feeling, their chapter ends and it's to the next person. It is told in dual perspective, which I usually love, but in this case, there was too much swapping back and forth, and I never connected with the characters. Another thing that I really didn't like about the book was that there were some twists in the book which I thought could have been built upon, and some of the twists in the book, they were so blatant, like you knew that they were coming, so they really weren't twists. And even the ending I felt like was a little dull. I think that it could just been hyped up so much more and really built upon. And I think this is her first novel, and I'm sure that her characters are going to grow, and her writing style is going to get stronger, but I actually ended up rating this book a 2 out of 5 stars. Alright friends, that is my wrap up. 13 books total. Mind blown. I literally did not think I was going to read that much at all. I just had a lot of time. I haven't started my job yet, so yeah, I've just been reading. I also was sick for a week and a half, and that kept me on the couch, and I think I read like 4 or 5 books within that week and a half that I was sick. So yeah, let me know below what your favorite book was this month. I definitely think my favorite book was probably Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I really did love some of the Vampire Academy books as well, but I think I have to give it to Obsidian. Anyways, guys, you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye!